Good morning, everyone. My name is Ali.
My name is Manaf.
My name's Oviya.
And my name's Raquel.
And welcome to Channel Roam News, where you'll roam through our news. And let's start today off with weather.
So today it's cloudy with a 50% chance of rain in Houston, and it's approximately 90 degrees in Houston today, so it's getting really warm. As summer approaches and schools start to close, kids are going to be coming out in the open more often, so we need to watch out on the roads. Don't hit them. Right? So also in Austin, it's getting also warm. It's 85 degrees in Austin. It's also 63 degrees in San Antonio. And that's the weather in Texas for today. All right, on to you, Ali.
Congratulations to Chelsea FC winning against Manchester United 1-0 for the FA Cup. And for today's Premier League, we have on top Manchester City with 100 points with the world records. In second, Manchester United, and third, Tottenham Hotspurs. For La Liga, we have Barcelona on top, Atletico Madrid at second, and Real Madrid under that. And then we get ready, guys. World Cup will be coming up June 14, and Champions League will be coming up. Real Madrid versus Liverpool, May 26th.
All right, now I'll be reporting on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was booming in late 2017 after a large surge in price. As popularity increased, so did value, until it hit almost $20,000. Suddenly it dropped to $11,000, then continuously fell. Interest began to fade, and the cryptocurrency became a thing of the past. While Bitcoin may not be as popular as anymore, its effects can still be felt today. With inflation in prices of computer parts used to acquire Bitcoin, the market has also started to be flooded with miners who are trying to sell off old computer components that they used for months at a time to mine. Even though the effects are prominent, many people are still unclear about what Bitcoin is or how it works. The concept of Bitcoin is relatively unknown and commonly misconceived as a physical currency. According to CoinDesk, on the one hand you have Bitcoin the token. On the other hand, sort of like a virtual IOU. On the other hand, you have Bitcoin the protocol, a distributed network that maintains a ledger of balances in Bitcoin the token. Both are referred to as Bitcoin. The system enables payments to be sent between users without having to actually pass through a central office. Bitcoin falls under a class of currency known as cryptocurrency, which is which uses a system of peer checks and timestamp hashing to allow for secure, anonymous money transfer. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. His reasoning behind the creation of Bitcoin was to create a decentralized currency, which means it has no central authority. While most currencies are regulated by a bank, Bitcoin is regulated by the people. This prevents things like inflation, as there's no way to make too much Bitcoin. To acquire Bitcoin, one must run certain programs on the computer, which essentially solves a cryptographic puzzle to generate hashes, which can be thought of as the codes for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is most widely used as a form of stock or investment. The mentality is to buy now, sell later when prices are high. However, due to a recent drop in value, it is a lot more difficult to generate revenue through this method. Bitcoin has a system of difficulty in which works as a countermeasure for inflation. Over time, as more Bitcoins are generated, it is more difficult to find hashes. Think of it like a used gold mine, where over time, gold becomes more rare as people go up and mine it. So over time, more computing power is required to find the same amount of Bitcoin. Difficulty increases exponentially. So at some point in the future, it may become almost impossible to find Bitcoin with consumer-grade hardware. It is a combination of these factors that has left Bitcoin in a state of uncertainty regarding future profits. Increased difficulty requires better, more expensive hardware, which is already extremely expensive due to Bitcoin mining. Even after all the extra money you would be spending on mining, your profits would be minimal due to low value. You can also never be certain of the future of Bitcoin, so profits wouldn't even be guaranteed. Right now, Bitcoin stands in a really uncertain place, but hopefully in the future it might return. Back to you, Ali.
Pakistan, a third world country, has potential to become a first world country. Although it is experiencing a lot of turbulence, including education, economy, terrorism, political corruption, and leading to a slow progress of Pakistan. So starting off with economy, the GNI of Pakistan, also known as gross national income, is $1.078 trillion. Compared to America's $18 trillion, that is very low. Also, if you take a trip to Pakistan, you will see a lot of homeless people on the streets begging for money as well. And as we can see from past actions, Pakistan depends a lot on some foreign income. As we can see from past events, Pakistan relied on the Western allies to pay for its debt. Taliban and Al-Qaeda are terrorist groups that live in Pakistan that devastate the country, including the story of Manaf. Terrorists stop people from succeeding and terrify them in taking actions, such as families stopping their daughters from taking education and from people going out onto the streets and protesting. Political corruption is the big idea here. As we can see, many of the political leaders of Pakistan, including Nawaz Sharif and Imran Khan, are very corrupt. They only care about themselves, or they don't support the citizens of Pakistan. The literacy rate of the total population of Pakistan is 57.9% according to the CIA World Factbook, which is pretty low for a country, you know. Since these people are uneducated, they can't make the right decision for their political leaders, and they can't make the right decisions to choose the path of their nation. According to an interview with Amr Khurram, the root of all of these problems, including poverty and political corruption, all come from lack of education. Even Lisa A. Curtis, a researcher, even mentions that education can end terrorism. And I agree that if Pakistan takes all necessary actions in completing the education of our future generations, then Pakistan can truly become a first world nation. Now moving on to Raquel. Thank you.
Obstructive sleep apnea affects 22 million people in the United States alone. Obstructive sleep apnea normally occurs when the muscles in someone's throat stops working properly and makes it impossible for oxygen to get to the lungs and spread throughout the body. This is normally an okay thing for someone in their 20s because they can handle it. But as someone ages, it can become very hard for them to deal with it, and they might not wake up after losing oxygen and die. According to Paul Matthews, an assistant professor of neurology at Harvard Medical School, I explained that poor sleep is like alcohol. In our 20s, drinking a six-pack of beer would lead to a rough morning after, but the same six-pack of beer in our 50s can require a week of full recovery. Young brains tend to be more resilient with sleep situations like alcohol consumption and sleep dysfunction. The Sleep Apnea Association found that 36,000 people die annually due to sleep apnea, most of these people being elderly. Sleep disorders are not a thing to take lightly. They can be dangerous to people that have them if gone untreated. Sleepwalking can also lead to someone performing dangerous activities while the person is asleep, leading to death. Like sleepwalking, narcolepsy can prevent people from getting jobs and performing many other normal activities like sleeping and driving. Sleep apnea can lead to discomfort in younger years, and if untreated when someone ages, it can become harder to prevent, leading to premature death. Sleepwalking, narcolepsy, and sleep apnea can have some drastic effects on people's lives and health if gone untreated. Now on to you, Oviya.
Unlike bread, pasta is virtually untraceable. Therefore, its origin remains a mystery. This unusual gap in the historical record of cereal-based preparations in Europe has led to the development of serious hypotheses by scholars. These experts say that if the Romans and Greeks did not know what this dish was, pasta must have come from somewhere else. Silvano Cerventi, a historian of food and of French and Italian culinary practices, and François Savant, a sinologist, someone who studies Chinese language, history, customs, and politics, believes it was brought by Arabs who were driven by the need to create a food that would keep during their nomadic wanderings. In reality, the situation of noodles is far more complicated and can't be explained by the simple movement of people or objects. Over 50 ethnicities all over the world make their own version of noodles. A student at HSI Katy states, in Vietnamese culture, it can take up to 2 days to make a pot of pho, noodles. Another says, methods vary by the amount of time pasta needs to be boiled, the mixture of sauces and spices to make everything blend together, the heat at which the pasta is boiled, etc. I'm sure they differ because of the type of noodles they are and how various cultures prepare them. It is also based on a regular diet of the people in the culture and the types of food they are allowed to eat, as well as what they eat on a regular basis and what is convenient for them.
Thank you for tuning in to Channel World News. Hope you guys did enjoy.
And make sure to tune in next time we have a report.
And goodbye.